Suspenseful, atmospheric music starts softly and builds. Have you ever heard the story of the ghost goal? Not a goal that was wrongly disallowed, but a goal that literally came from beyond the grave. This is the story of the Champions League match between Bayern Munich and Sporting Lisbon, a game that went down in history for all the wrong reasons. A game that ended with a discovery so chilling, it haunts the world of football to this day. It was a cold, rainy night at the Allianz Arena. The air was thick with tension. This wasn't just any group stage match. This was the decider. Winner takes all, loser goes home. The stadium was a sea of red and white, a roaring cauldron of noise. Every pass, every tackle, every shot was met with a collective gasp or a deafening cheer. The players on the pitch felt the weight of millions of eyes on them. For 89 minutes, it was a brutal, beautiful stalemate. Bayern, the German giants, relentless in their attack. Sporting, the Portuguese lions, a fortress in defense. Legends like Thomas Muller and Cristiano Ronaldo, back at his old club, were locked in a titanic struggle. The goalkeepers, Manuel Neuer and Antonio Adon, were putting on a masterclass, making save after impossible save. The clock was ticking down. The fourth official's board went up, 3 minutes of added time. It felt like an eternity and no time at all. Both sets of fans were on their feet, screaming, praying for a miracle. A draw would see both teams' fates decided by goal difference against other teams in the group. It was a knife's edge. Then, in the 91st minute, it happened. A frantic scramble in the Sporting box. The ball ping-ponged between players, a chaotic dance of desperation. Jamal Musiala, Bayern's young prodigy, somehow got a toe to the ball. It trickled, agonizingly slowly, towards the goal line. Adon lunged, his fingers just brushing the leather. The ball hit the inside of the post, spun on the goal line like a top, and for a heart-stopping second, it looked like it would stay out. But then, it crossed the line. The stadium erupted. Bayern had done it. Or so they thought. The Sporting players immediately surrounded the referee, protesting furiously. They weren't arguing about the goal itself. They were pointing at the goalpost. The referee, confused, jogged over. And that's when the world went silent. The impact of the ball hitting the post had dislodged a small, loose panel at its base, a section that was supposed to be welded shut. From the dark cavity within, something had spilled out onto the grass. It wasn't mud or debris. It was a tattered piece of fabric and what looked like bone. The game was immediately suspended. The cheers died in the throats of the fans, replaced by a confused, horrified murmur. Security and stadium officials rushed onto the pitch, forming a cordon around the goal. The players were ushered back to the changing rooms, their faces a mixture of shock and disbelief. The live broadcast was cut, leaving millions of viewers around the world staring at a static screen, wondering what on earth they had just witnessed. The initial reports were wild. Was it a prank? A bizarre protest? The truth was far, far darker. As forensic teams arrived, the grim reality began to set in. Inside the hollow steel of the goalpost, they found the skeletal remains of a human body. The investigation that followed plunged the football world into its darkest chapter. The body was identified as that of a young stadium construction worker who had been reported missing over a decade earlier during the final phases of the Allianz Arena's construction. His name was Stefan, a passionate Bayern fan who had been thrilled to work on the stadium of his dreams. He had vanished without a trace, leaving behind a heartbroken family who never got answers. The police had treated it as a missing person case, assuming he had simply left town. The reality was a horror story hidden in plain sight. The working theory was devastating. Investigators believe Stefan may have fallen into the large, hollow goalpost section during its installation. Perhaps he was doing a final inspection, lost his footing, and became trapped inside. With the deafening noise of construction all around him, his cries for help would have gone unheard. The section was then welded shut, sealing his fate. He had been entombed alive, just yards from the pitch where his heroes would one day play. For over a decade, as goals were scored and celebrated, as championships were won and lost, Stefan's silent tomb stood on the field. The discovery sent shockwaves through both clubs and the entire sporting community. How could this have happened? The construction company faced intense scrutiny, and safety protocols for stadium building were completely overhauled worldwide. The goalposts, once symbols of victory, now represented a tragic failure of care. The match itself was, of course, overshadowed. It was eventually replayed a week later in an empty stadium, a somber affair that nobody wanted to win. The original result was voided. That 91st-minute goal, the goal that revealed the truth, never officially counted. But it became known as Stefan's goal, the goal that finally brought a lost soul home. The family of Stefan, after years of uncertainty, finally had a tragic closure. They held a memorial service, attended by representatives from both Bayern Munich and Sporting Lisbon. The club retired his season ticket number in his honor. The incident changed football forever. Every time you see a ball hit the post now, it's hard not to think of this story. It's a chilling reminder that beneath the glamour and the glory of the beautiful game, there can be hidden stories of profound human tragedy. The Allianz Arena is still one of the world's great stadiums, but for those who know the story, one of its goalposts will forever cast a long, dark shadow. It stands as a silent monument to the fan who never left the stadium. This story forces us to look beyond the pitch and consider the unseen hands and untold stories behind the spectacle we love. It's a sobering thought that the foundations of our entertainment can sometimes be built on forgotten tragedies. If you found this story as compelling as I did, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the hidden histories of sports. Let me know in the comments what you think about this unbelievable event. Thanks for watching.